Hell, it's about time.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Ambient, and I'm here with Crucius for our first dual cast. How you doing, Crucius?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Pretty good myself as well.
We're bringing you a dual cast of a 1v1 match between KawaiiRice, spawning as a red Terran in the 5 o'clock position, and his opponent, TTOne, spawning as a blue Protoss in the 10 o'clock position.
Yes, and the map is Incineration Zone, you guys, one of the newer maps that were released in the beta. This map favors a lot of Reaper play by Terran players, although most Protoss players start making that quick stalker, so it's kind of a useless tactic now, but we'll see if KawaiiRice tries to go for some kind of early Reaper harassment. Also, on top of this is these backdoor rocks here at the lower part, left-hand part of you guys' screen. Protoss love to utilize that and basically make two fronts for the Terran player to defend. It's very annoying, believe me. Right now, just real quick, it looks like KawaiiRice going out with a 10 supply depot, and there's the 9 pylon for TT1.
Yep, and in addition to the different tactics of the map, if you drag your attention to slightly northeast of the center of the map, you can see the two-pronged pathway. With this, you can actually counter-flank an aggressive push, so to speak. So if a group of units is pushing down one side, you can actually intercept that group, and in addition to that, you can actually bring another group of units around the other side to actually sandwich them in on both sides.
Yeah, that's what's pretty cool about this map, is there's multiple routes to each other's bases, expansions, and yes, there's definitely a lot of opportunities for players to do those sandwich pushes. This map generally favors Terran and Protoss just because it's so tight and closed that Zerg players it's not very effective for them because they don't have a lot of open, room to position their armies very effectively. But it looks like KawaiiRice is going for that 12 barracks with that Marine coming out, and over here at TT1 real quick, he is getting that fast cybernetics core. So, like I said earlier, you guys, Reaper harassment not as effective against Protoss on this map just because they get that stalker out so quickly.
Yep, as a Zerg player myself, I find it very difficult to actually deal with bunch of units on this map, just because it's very, very difficult to actually let your units get a good surround on all the units. And KawaiiRice does have an SCV in TT1's base, just scouting around, and he is going to see that cybernetic core pop up. And I think TT1 actually started using a chrono boost on the cybernetics core but cancelled it, and there it is now.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for that warp gate technology, which Protoss players do so much against Terran players. Getting out those quick warp gates, and then you can go into like a robo build, get those immortals out, or even go to a 4-gate early push, which can be hard to defend at points as a Terran player like myself. I can see that. So real quick here, it looks like KawaiiRice again getting more Marauders, going for that. Looks like that Bio Ball build, that MMM Marine Marauder Medic build. Has not grabbed his second refinery yet, so it doesn't look like he's going to do any heavy gas tech builds, no Banshees, no siege tanks, anything like that. So it'll be pretty interesting how he does it. And he actually is pushing out across the map right now. TT1's got to back out because those concussion cells will rip his stalker and his zealot apart.
KawaiiRice just throwing up a factory right now.
Yep.
That was probably around 29 or 28 supply. Now KawaiiRice is running into TT1's base, but he is going to be pushed back by the Stalkers with the high ground advantage.
Yeah, he was actually unable to take down that one Zealot who's sitting there on 9 HP, a Warrior Zealot there. Barely able to survive there, but as we all know, Marauders are so effective against gateway units in the early game just because those concussion cells, they rip through those armored units to Stalkers, and then the Zealots can't even get close enough because if you micro properly, you can basically just laugh at it because they can't even get near you. And it looks like 2 more gateways are going down for TT1. So again, that gateway technology and the robotics facility has gone down. So it looks like right now he's going for a 3-gate into a robo, but he might cancel it once that scan goes away.
KawaiiRice also throwing down his starport, and in addition to that, he's also throwing a reactor down onto his factory. So we're probably going to be seeing the factory and the starports swapping positions, and we'll see where he goes from there.
Yeah, it looks like he'll most likely get those medevacs out and get that healing ability out quickly. And the robotics facility is going to stay at 4 TT1. And real quick here on the Protoss side, backdoor rocks, he's actually breaking them down. And like I said earlier, guys, Protoss love to exploit these rocks and cause a lot of frustration to Terran players. Now, on top of defending your front door, you've actually got to defend your backdoor rocks, and it can be very irritating sometimes.
Yep, and KawaiiRice actually did run a Marine down to his rocks on the left-hand side, but actually returned the Marine back into his base. So he is actually just going to miss TT1 pushing down the lower pathway and trying to break down his rocks.
Yeah, it's very interesting that KawaiiRice is not putting a supply depot down there, or at least leaving some kind of scouting to see when the stalkers, when he's attacking, just so he can be ready for it. I mean, if anything, he can just push the Protoss player back and not worry about his mineral line being exposed, because right now if he actually attacks, it'd be very unfortunate for KawaiiRice. And like you said earlier, Crucius, the reactor had the starport and factory did switch positions, and the reactor is now on the starport, so he's grabbing those medevacs, and now has 3 Raxes producing a lot of Marines and Marauders out of them.
Yep, and TT1 does have Immortals on the way, constantly being Chrono Boost, sorry, and they are pushing out through the bottom pathway, and TT1 just breaking into KawaiiRice base at the moment, but does pull back. And TT1 actually does have an idle probe sitting outside KawaiiRice's base. No idea what that's doing.
Yeah, and real quick here, it looks like KawaiiRice is actually moving 3 medevacs out across the map right now, and he looks like he's going for a medevac drop. I don't think that TT1 actually saw that, so this will be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen here right now. Yeah, and these Marines and Marauders are going to be dropped off right inside of TT1's base, but at the meantime, it looks like TT1 is actually going to push his army into the Terran base and force basically a base race right now, and we all know that Terran can win this very easily just because the Marauders are so effective against buildings as well. And with that stim and that, well, I don't think he has stim yet actually, so with just those Marauders, they'll be able to take down the buildings a lot quicker than Stalkers and Sentries and Zealots.
What are these probes doing? TT1's probe actually ran all the way across the map and into KawaiiRice's base.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm not too sure, I think TT1's actually going to start, looks like he's mining out of the base right now, and he just
threw up a Nexus.
He's throwing down a Nexus right now, so we're going to be seeing a base trade. He has KawaiiRice right now, lift off his command center, floating that bad boy out of here. He is dip-set big time. I don't know why KawaiiRice had to lift the rest of his buildings. He should get him out of here soon. That barracks will be going down soon because it is on fire. But yes, you guys, we are witnessing a base race right now on Incineration Zone between TT1 and KawaiiRice. This is pretty interesting, not going to lie.
Definitely. And if you look at the income tab, KawaiiRice is actually only sitting on 1 harvester, whereas TT1 actually has 16. But both players have no mineral income and no gas income at the moment. So basically, the only units they have are the only units they will have for quite a while.
Yeah, it is. And then what's pretty nice though is that it looks like KawaiiRice can grab the high yield expansion, which I think is actually a good grab, because with these mules, look at his income shoots to 600, 700 right now. With those mules, he gets such an economic advantage over Zerg or Protoss opponent. It's just awesome. I love those mules. Checking out the production tab just to see what it is. Yeah, there's a Nexus going down inside of KawaiiRice base. TT1 cleaning up to make sure there's no scouting going by KawaiiRice with those stray buildings up around. And I've got to admit, this is kind of wacky. I'm surprised that KawaiiRice has not cleaned up TT1's base yet, though.
True. He does have 3 gateways unpowered, but there is a pylon being queued up to be built. So those gateways will become active once again. And TT1 actually does have a reserver in KawaiiRice's base at the high yield. And looking at the income tab, both players are pretty much balanced. Actually, KawaiiRice dropped down to half just then. So unless TT1 actually pushes out and tries to apply a bit of pressure on KawaiiRice, the high yield is going to give him that much of an edge.
Yeah.